Okay, one more quick bit on what I was talking about, this phenomenon called telegony. And this is the phenomenon where the child has the characteristics of a previous relationship. The story of a guy who was a soldier or something off the war, and he slept with an Asian prostitute, and then when he came back home and married the girl that he was gonna marry, their kid came out Asian. And they're looking at the girl like, oh, who'd you sleep with? And she's like, there ain't no Asians in this whole country. And the dude figured it out. He was like, oh man, because he was still thinking about that Asian prostitute. She must have been hot. And those characteristics were carried in through his sperm, and the child came out that way. And so this right here tells me a lot. And this is ancient knowledge on how to have a superior child. Now, the ancient people, the Vedras, from the book Ringing Cedars of Russia, book 8, they talk about how they had superior children. Why? Because the two parents would get together and decide what traits that the child would have. And like, oh, he'll have your blue eyes, he'll have your strength and stamina, all these things. And if they would decide the very sex of the child too. It isn't random. And this is what modern Nazi sorcery says, oh, you can't do that. But you can. Doesn't it just make perfect sense? Yes, they got together and they decided days before. They even consummated the love act. All right? And they decided what their child would be like. And I start thinking, well, why couldn't you just say, hey, I want my child to have psychic power. I want him to be able to fly. All right? Why wouldn't that work? And I'm sure it will. As a matter of fact, there's other knowledge that I gathered, and this is what the people from under the ice are doing. Now, it's little known that the eyes are different. The right eye transmits, the left eye receives. And this is why you can look somebody eye to eye and transmit information. This is why I don't look at people that way. I always cross. I look with my right eye to their left, so they can't be transmitting any data or receiving anything from me either. And so, but think about this. Two people who decided to have a superhuman child, both of them, the exact traits they want, consummating the love act, transmitting, looking each other directly in the eye and creating this superior child. Oh yeah, I know it could happen. And it should make sense in your mind too. It should just click. And so, telegony is very real. And it can be used as a force for good, not against you. Like they try to portray it, oh, it's a thing that's from private relationship. No, you can erase that. Of course you can. You can erase prior relationships. And especially if you're completely in love with the person you're with, of course you're going to desire the traits to be in your children. And so that's going to happen. But you can take that one step further and make your child superior. And so this is the phenomena of telegony, very little known thing. I didn't know anything about it either until I read this series of books, and I felt like I had to share this because I believe that that's what's happening with these people who are under the ice. They are going to be making these superior children. They're going to be superhuman. Don't be surprised they come out and they can fly and shit like that. Oh yeah. Or they can start fires with their mind or whatever, move objects with their mind. We can do that with a proper training, but can you imagine if you were literally born with your parents handing you this very real power? Interesting.